Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on which part of the world you are watching or listening to us. Welcome to Young and Winning Podcast with Pastor Joe Atta. It is always my pleasure to be your host, and I'm excited because I know that whatever has brought you in contact with us has implicated you for a life of unending success. Congratulations already. Now, on today's episode, we want to look at the mentality of wealth. The mentality of wealth. In Proverbs chapter 23 and in verse 7, the Bible says, "As he thinketh in his heart, so he is. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is." A man is not as he is, so he thinks. As he thinks, so he is. When I read that scripture and then I meditated over it again and again, I got so much light. That is to tell you that there is power in your thought. There is power in your thought. The mind is like an unending reservoir of knowledge. And when you are able to build your thought to a level where you are able to sustain a consciousness, you begin to function in unusual sphere beyond your wildest imagination. So just imagine building a wealth mentality. Please remember that the reality of man is what he thinks. The reality of man can be summarized in his thought. And the original plan of God is for all of his creation to dwell in affluence and stupendous wealth. That is why we can say that, when we talk about heaven, for instance, we're told that the streets of heaven are made of gold. That is to tell you that God has nothing to do with mediocrity. He has nothing to do with poverty. So if the streets of heaven are made of gold and we are ambassadors of God on earth, it's like God extending his colony to earth through us. And for as long as we're here, we are only permitted to reflect the reality of our country or our source where we are coming from. Just like the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria reflects the reality of the American life, regardless of the economic travail in Nigeria. So you need to be able to sustain a mindset of influence and affluence. Then you will find yourself working in the reality of wealth. So, simple advice: if you don't like money, for instance, then don't think about heaven. Because if you want to go to heaven, then you cannot escape wealth. So if you will encounter wealth in heaven, why not begin now from earth? Can you see that? Because every reality and possibility that exists in heaven can be reflected while we are still on earth through our daily thought pattern. Please note that poverty is a strange oppression where we belong. I see myself, I sustain this consciousness every day that I come from from a country where nobody is poor. So I don't pursue money. Money comes to me. It's natural. Like it is one of the things I enjoy naturally. That is the mindset that I have built over time. So I am not perturbed when there's no currency in my pocket because I know that money comes to me. I don't pursue money. I don't pursue success because I know that money comes to me and my success is guaranteed because I think the right thought. And I'm urging you and encouraging you to build that mentality. Isolate your mind, your soul from the noise that happens around. There are a lot of negativity all over the place. And if you're not careful, you will be tempted, to think that God is unfaithful. Meanwhile, God, he has given you everything that pertains to life and to godliness. Accepting poverty is like allowing a foreign programming to dominate your system. It's like a virus corrupting the original operating system. So poverty is a strange programming in the system of a child of God. And you are a child of God, whether you know it or not. So anytime you see poverty, anytime you see hardship, anytime you see whatever does not agree with you, just know that it's a foreign operation, it's a foreign programming coming to you. So all you need to do is just build a consciousness of wealth. Build a consciousness of wealth, and then you eventually begin to live in the reality. Build a consciousness of wealth, and you will eventually begin to live in the reality. Please never forget this as I close. When you think the right thought, your life will be right. But if you think wrong thought, your life will be wrong. Everything starts and ends with your mind and your thinking. So from today, I urge you to think the right thought. It doesn't cost anything. Think of yourself as the president of your nation. Think of yourself as the solution to your family. Think of yourself as the answer that your world needs. Think of yourself as the person who makes life different and better for everyone that comes in contact with you. Think of yourself as a sign and a wonder, and watch yourself metamorphose into that reality. Congratulations. God bless you.